I've always wanted someone to listen, to determine if I had found the truth. Maybe that's why I drove out west, to gain some credibility to the seemingly shallow words that marked the page. When I first started my journey in July 2015, I knew what I was looking for, remnants of the 1930s that changed the American landscape. I especially hoped seeing the sights and sounds of the national park system would lend me a hand in writing my undergraduate thesis, a novel following a character imprisoned during the 1920s and released in the midst of the Great Depression. However, something else seemed to be driving me besides the search for setting. Perhaps I wished to escape the realities of the unknown future, or desired to leave my mark. My trip turned into something more. Soon, it encompassed old shooting scripts from the Depression era and following photographers' footsteps. People like Dorothea Lange and Walker Evans inspired me to do all I could with a camera. A story needed to be told, a connection made between a turbulent era in American history and the present, and I would tap the shutter button imprinting a message. As members of the New Deal put it, the Farm Security Administration has recognized this new trend in photography. It has accepted the camera as an essential aid in presenting the problems with which it has to work, and to convey to interested persons the programs made in dealing with these problems. In short, it has accepted the camera as its first-class reporting mechanism. The FSA Photographer, 1935. I found myself taking creative liberties and interpreting the world through the eyes of a photographer. A changed perspective made me think about what they had been through, what hardships they all endured. Relating to the struggles of those in the past provided a strange sense of comfort, like I was meant to continue a story started almost a century ago. I felt as if my identity had melded together, and I was new. My character, the photographers of the past, and my own life became one individual entity. My literary character started to build upon my personal character, as I questioned what he would do. I started to realize that struggle wasn't something specific to a certain time period. People could relate in their problems, whether big or small, economic or emotional. The human experience can be shared across generations through arts and literature. I want to be part of that legacy of understanding. I may not know where life is going, but I'll be sure to relate where I can, and provide an interpretation of the world where needed, whether it be inspired by photographers from the past, or a prospective character from my novel. I've determined one thing: there is no truth, only more questions. The journey isn't about finding someone to listen, but to listen to yourself.